time for the What's Your Beef segment. We do this once a week. And as a reminder, not all beef jerky is the same. Old Trapper is better for you. Higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, or candy. Ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what is your beef? Let me start with these social beefs. It's not too late to call. If you have a beef, hit me up. 1-800-636-8686. Starting with a lady clone, Susie from Wisco. She tweets, quote, I got beef with Mike Nolan's eyeball. Signed, Tabasco sauce.
Just had some Tabasco on my finger and it went in my eye. That wasn't good.
Yeah, it was. That was actually great. How about a guy on a Zoom call? Not only a guy, but that guy presiding over that defense, having to stop to say, hey, man, I got some Tabasco in my eye.
I got something in my eye.
You got something in your eye? It's Tabasco, Mike. Just consider yourself lucky that it wasn't Tapatio or Cholula.
Never good.
At Hitman Canadian tweets, my beef is with Justin Turner. He openly transmitted without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball. Cage, at Cage Gomez tweets, my beef is still with Bill from Champa Bay. I wonder if that loser will correct anyone's pronunciation ever again.
You pronounced Tampa wrong. That's Bill from Champa Bay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's the last we're going to hear from him. At SA Sports Honk tweets, Rome, I've got a beef with dudes who cry when their team wins a championship. Sack up. Yes and no, and mostly no, especially given that you reside in San Antonio, where the biggest crier ever lives. At SF Football 99 tweets, my beef, that guy. My beef is with backwards hat guy who uses his hand to shield the sun. Haunted Horse tweets, my beef is in only getting one free taco today from the Mookie Stolen Base promotion. Me still hungry. Signed, Taco Wells in the 720. Hey, Rome, my beef is with people who ask me what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Hey, what are you up to? Watching the game? Well, I'm facing the TV with the game on, so what do you think I'm doing, idiot? Jeremiah in Greenville.
Stupid idiot.
Romy, I got beef with tools that hold their coffee mug with both hands. You're not a freaking toddler holding a sippy cup. Grip that handle and finish off your dark roast loaded with a gallon of cream and a pound of sugar. Signed, Ashley in Nebraska.
War Lady Clone.
Ashley's funny.
Put that coffee
Ashley
down.
makes me laugh. Carlin Prescott, a.k.a. at 143C1, tweets, my beef is that Blake Snell is not being celebrated today for inclusion into the rat family. You cannot include anybody in something that no longer exists. Carl. It's a good song until there's a record scratch on it. Garrett in Utah tweets, Jim, my beef is with the hand sanitizer dispenser. When I press down, I want it on my hand, not all over me and the surrounding area. 2020, Garrett. Romy, I got beef. When you go to the self-checkout to buy condoms for the sole purpose of not having to have a cashier, and then you can't get them to scan, and an employee has to come over and assist. Regards, Alvin DeLauro.
Dude, no.
Geoff in Lincoln. Jimmy Jim, my beef is with the little old man who bought the house next door. Dude spends all day mowing, trimming, raking, and sweeping. His yard is immaculate, and he does it all with hand tools. Meanwhile, I've got a garage full of power equipment, and my yard looks like crap. Stop showing off, old-timer. Brent and PC. Jim, my beef is with inconsiderate and selfish people. Take my neighbor, for example. Without even asking me what he should do with his own lawn and landscaping, he cut down the trees in his yard. Now when I look through my patio window, I can see him grinding it out on his Peloton. I don't need to see that. So I politely left him a note telling him to replant the trees on his own property for my benefit, and he still hasn't. How rude of him. Thanks. Signed, Self-Centered in Southern Cal. Mark in parts unknown. At Squirrel2. This hasn't happened yet, but my beef is Matt in LA's call. Later today. At Wooden Laconic tweets, Kevin Cash's decision to pull Blake Snell in the 5th inning of a dominating pitching performance ranks right up there with Pete Carroll not handing Marshawn Lynch the freaking ball on the goal line. Getting too cute cost you championships. Hey, Wooden Laconic, the segment requires you to start with my beef. Let's go to the phones. It is a beef segment. We've done the social portion of the beef. Let's go to Tony in the so-called great state of Maine. Tony, what's your beef?
Romy,
Tony.
sometimes on my day off, I try to get out to the course with a couple of fellas. I inevitably get caught behind the school bus. Romy, I don't mind that kids use the bus. I used the bus back in the day, but things are different now. Now when the bus arrives, kid doesn't jump on the bus. Mom's is in the driveway with Johnny or Sally, and the lengthy personal hug and handshake routine begins. I mean, Romy, it's like Mookie, JBJ, and Benintendi back in the day after a layout catch. And then Mom's is running alongside the bus like the Secret Service. Get on the bus, Jimmy. How could the Sox have gotten rid of Mookie? Now we've got you taunting and goading us on Twitter every day. God, that's all I got, Jimmy.
My man, rack him. I just racked a beef. Tony, I love it. I love it. That is such a good call. That is kind of true about the school bus, isn't it? Like, I took the bus when I was a kid. I don't remember my parents worked. My parents didn't drop me off the bus stop or run after the bus. We didn't have some elaborate hug and handshake for anything, much less getting on the bus. I've told you this story. When I was a kid at the LA Unified School District, there was such a weird thing going on with the buses. I don't even know what this was about. When I was in elementary school I hate to do this, but in the mid-70s, how about that? The 70s. They got the entire school into the auditorium and they made us watch a horror movie about buses. Literally. Like a bus that went off a cliff. A bus where some kid had a knife and stabbed himself in the forehead. Like, apparently we were all acting out as kids on buses, and they wanted to scare the hell out of us. Yeah, well, it worked. Like, none of us kids slept for months. And I remember all the parents getting together and saying, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that. Yeah, so you're right, Tony. Times have changed. What's your beef? Let's go to Justin in NoCal. Justin, good to have you. What's your beef, Justin?
Hey, what's up, Romy? Hey, my beef is with those battery chucker San Francisco Giants fans from the Bay being all on my timeline, texting me saying, oh, Dodgers should have done it earlier. They've had the opportunity. They should have won already. Waving their flags. There are 3 flags. And you know what? All I got to say is just give them some bleeping credit, man. Come on, Rome. Dodgers.
You're right, man. I hear you, Justin. I've always said this about the Giants, especially going back in the day. I even get some of that. I even get some of that from my friends in NoCal. Like, they're the biggest Rays fans ever. When they're not. They're just here to hate the Dodgers. A lot of you Giant fans, frankly, would rather see the Dodgers lose than see your own team win. Look in the mirror. Own that. You'd rather see the Dodgers lose than you would see your own team win. That's how you know you're blinded by hate. Let's go to Clearwater. Mike in Clearwater. Good to have you, Mike. What is your beef?
Jim, my beef is with the bum guy, the homeless guy, and I have empathy for them, but he's at the same exit for 6 months in a row. I've given him my change, and then this guy, after traffic goes through, he's all stomping around on the grass, all pissed because he didn't get more free money. I've even given this guy who didn't have shoes once the flip-flops I keep in my car. And he's all upset because he didn't get free stuff. You can see he's all shaking his head, all upset because he didn't get money through that cycle of traffic that went through the light. Come on, dude. You're asking for free money and you're a bum. Out.
I was going to say, Alvin, if we're going to rack people during the beef segment, it's more than okay to run them. Mike, it seems to me you're more unhappy about the so-called, quote, bum than the bum is. Hey, Mike, you know why that guy's stomping around unhappy? He's hungry. He's cold. He does not have a roof over his head. He has nowhere to live. He's homeless, Mike. This is why he's unhappy. How about you? Say you miss a meal. Did you get cranky? Did you get angry? You know why? You're hungry. So imagine your entire life being like that. So what do? You go home, you walk through your front door of your house, and you go to your refrigerator and you pull some food out, probably even a beer. And then it's better, right? What does this guy do? In your words, he stays on the same off-ramp where he's been for 6 months. You know why that is? That is his home, Mike. He's homeless. Look, I understand I said you can beef about whatever you want. I take that back. You can beef about whatever you want except, quote, bums. What, like this guy has to pay you the ultimate respect because you gave him 75 cents and some flip-flops that you've probably worn for 8 years. Come on, man. Come on, Mike, do better. There's your beef segment. That's why we do that every week on Wednesday in the second hour. Carlos Dunlap had beef, and it worked. He beefed his way out of the Natty to Seattle. All right, I've got Edgerrin James. Do not lose track of that fact. The Edge is my guest on episode 149 of the Jim Rome podcast, and he is really good. Really good. I know this because I taped it yesterday. Look for that. We'll push that out after the show today. Top of the hour, Xander Schauffele, PGA Tour Pro. Also next hour, Indiana Pacers head coach Nate Bjorkgren. It is the bottom of the hour, so how about I give you a sports update? How about Rich Ackerman hosts it?